Hello race fans and welcome to this pre-release video for Australian Speedway Challenge. With the release coming on Android in August, I thought I'd put together a quick video showcasing what the game is all about. So when you get started, you'll get a walkthrough prompting you to create your account and your profile. So we're going to start off here. We're going to use one of the great pseudonyms, Jim Shorts.
Welcome to the Australian Speedway Challenge, rookie. First, let's set up your profile. Choose your name, state, and car number.
Okay, so I'll keep the Jim Shorts theme going here. And take this, keep it some way factual. State of origin, South Australia, and pick a number. Something feels lucky. Let's go with lucky 5, because I watched Short Circuit not that long ago.
Choose how you want to drive. You can adjust assists, camera view, and audio before you hit the track.
Okay, so the first choice that we have here is the camera view. So there's obviously a cockpit view, and then you've got a chase view. So we'll stick with the chase view for the time being. So next we've got a traction control option. So the game will load up in beginner. But yeah, then you can, as you get a bit more advanced, you can drop it to intermediate, or you can turn it off. And so the next two options that we have here are steering helpers. So there's a steering trainer, which is a graphical representation of when to turn the car in, so on and so forth. And then a steering assist, which will actually generate input, stop you from spinning, things like that. And finally, down the bottom of the screen, you've got a couple of sound options. So there's a music volume for in the menus and a sound effects volume for when you're on track.
You can always update your profile or preferences later by selecting settings from the main menu. Every driver needs a car that stands out. This is where you create your own identity. Start by pressing the Cars button and choose your body style. Then press Colors to customize your car's look. You can then change your sponsor logos, decals, and text.
Alright, well, as the tutorial said, let's have a flick through this Cars tab and have a look and see what styles we've got to work with. I picked this one here for no other reason than I just like how it looks. Okay, so having hit the sponsors tab, we can flick through some of the potential sponsors that we can have on the side of the car. So yeah, a couple of different options here. Hopefully we'll get more and more into the game as time goes on. Might go with the Australian Speedway Challenge logo there, because there's nothing wrong with a bit of shameless publicity. And yeah, all right, let's give that a crack. Looks good on all sides. Now that we know who our sponsor's going to be, let's pick some graphics. So we'll go into the decals tab here, have a bit of a flick through and try and find something that looks good. We'll build up some colours around it afterwards, once we know what the car is basically going to look like. And I think I like these little waves here. I think I like them. Let's go with that. Now let's have a look at some colours. So the way this works is you pick one of the colour swatches on the left, and then that's the current colour you're working with. Then you pick the hue using the slider on the left and the brightness using the slider on the bottom left. So when you're happy with the colour that you've created, you can then look at the buttons on the right hand side and choose where you want to apply it. So I'm going to apply this to the car base. Then I will select the next paint swatch and pick a contrasting colour, a nice contrasting colour. I'm going to go with the dark blue here, and then I can apply that to the decal colour. And on the right hand side you can see there's a bunch of options of where you can apply. So you've got your name and number fill. You can have different colour number front to rear depending on what your paint scheme might look like. I like this blue so much, I am just going to use that to fill in my name and both of my numbers. Now using the camera button down the bottom right there, let's have a bit of a look around the car and see what we think. And that looks like a pretty neat and tidy looking hot rod. So let's go and roll with that. Jim Shorts will love it, I'm sure. The last tab that we have to look at here is the text tab. So there's a bunch of different text options, hopefully something that will appeal to everybody. So just flick through and find something that suits. Yeah, let's go with something like this. I think this looks alright. Now let's flick through the name fonts and see if we can find something there. Yeah, I think we'll probably just pick basically the same font. There it is. Alright, should be good to go. And there's our beast in all its glory. And alright, so I think we're just about done with the tutorial here.
You can always return to change your livery and upgrade your car by going to the garage from the main menu.
Yeah, the tutorial is finished. We've been placed back into the main menu. So from here we can go back into the garage. Now there's options here. You can go to the part upgrades section. So there's 3 different levels of upgrades for suspension and engine as you progress. And then we can go back into the livery side, which is where we just were. Now if we back out of the garage, we can get back to the main menu and then go and check out the settings. So we've got the player profile here, so you can make changes to that. And then we can go into the preferences section, and what I'll do is I'll put the spring trainer on so that we can have a bit of a look at that. Alright, so let's back out of here and we'll head into a practice session. We'll just make it a short practice session, 4 laps, and yeah, get into it. So you can see the steering trainer graphic in the middle of the screen there. So there's the red mark. The idea is you're trying to keep that red mark in the green zone. So and then you steer appropriately to try and make that happen. As you spend more time driving, hopefully you can learn to preempt the movements of that marker and generate a smoother line. I'm actually finding the car a little too responsive when turning into the corners, and it's taking a bit too much steering to the right to get out of the corners. So I think I might make a couple of little adjustments in the setup. So we'll exit out of this session, then we'll go back into practice. We'll hit the setup button. So there's a few setup options. With a view to keeping the game accessible to everyone. Each track there is baseline setup that will be close to the mark, and you can tune the car from there. So I'm going to take a little bit of stagger off the car, and that should make the car turn in a bit less harsh and drive off the corner straighter. Given that the mid corner felt okay, I don't want to introduce understeer in the middle of the corner. So I'm going to space the right rear out a bit more, just because the car is going to drive a bit straighter now. So I want to try and counteract some of that in the middle of the corner. I also noticed that the engine could afford to rev out a little bit more, so I'll shorten the gearing. A bit of a tip is that early in your career, before you fit engine upgrades, you'll be down on power. So a short set of gears and running the low line is really the way to go. As you fit upgrades to the engine, you'll be able to run longer gear ratios and start running the high line easier. I'm going to jump back into the settings here and just turn that steering trainer off just to clean up the screen a bit, and we'll jump into a career race. So in your career, there's 3 different types of events. Your local meetings, state titles, and the Australian title. So start with local meetings. These meetings are run with 16 cars. 2 heats per car, so guaranteed entry straight into the A main. And if I can find the Murray Mouth local race, we'll see how Jim Shorts runs his first meeting. So we're straight into hot laps here, near the front of this group. We've got Singh in front of us here. I'll try and dispatch him fairly quick. He's not real quick. But the track's already looking reasonably gripped up here. That's going to vary from meeting to meeting. And this car's feeling pretty decent. I don't think that we're going to be making too many changes after this. This is feeling pretty good. And with that session complete, we can jump into the next session, and this is the second half of the field running hot laps. And because we're not a part of it, we can skip this. So we'll do that. Wait for this session to simulate, and then we can get into our first heat race. So each time you're about to start a session that you're in, you get the setup screen comes up, so you can make changes during the meeting, and try and catch the track as it changes. The short gear ratio really helped us off the line there, but I didn't really give myself anywhere to go. That's cost me a bit. Fortunately, I've got a good run to going down low here. That actually turned out alright. Now Chen up the front there is going to be a bit of a cork in the bottle. So if I hold a tight line and wait for some opportunities, we'll see what happens here. Early in the meeting, the gripped up part of the track is pretty narrow, so it's tough to race too wide, and hanging on to the bottom is pretty important. Well, we made it cleanly past Chen, but Williams has followed us through the pack, so he's keeping the pressure on here. And Jim Shorts wins his first race, so I bet he's pretty pumped about that. So we'll jump into the next heat here, and I've got McCarthy and King out there, so they'll be the ones to watch. And how's that for the commentator's curse? As I say that, they've been hung out to dry and have it all to do now. Anyway, we'll skip through the rest of this one, just see how it goes as it simulates. And King's had a decent run back through the pack here, but McCarthy's really got himself bogged down the back there. So that's how that's going to finish up. So the track's still coming in. We're certainly not in any danger of looking like we're slickening off yet. The local nights don't have as many laps run, and so the setup changes are a bit more minimal. So we'll just run straight into the next heat without any changes. Now, Kovacs is not super quick here, but Patel has a bit of pace about him. So it's important to get a good start here. I think we might have to be content with second here and try not to overdrive the car. It might not be the most exciting race. Park is slowly, very slowly catching us from behind. Might just start to put a bit of pressure on by the end of this. Parks just tried to sneak his nose in underneath there, but I think we're going to hold this off and come over the line for second. So might not have been the most exciting race, but we picked up a good haul of points there. If we have a look at the current point standings by clicking the results button and navigate to the point standings, we can see Jim Shorts is the current points leader. We can see the ones to watch just down the bottom of the screen there are Fernandez and King. Watch them in the next race. They're the only ones that can really overtake Jim. Fernandez and King both getting good starts there. Now Park's getting involved. Fernandez setting up to go on the inside, and oh, there's contact. These guys are absolutely chopping each other up all over the shop. Can you believe it? Fernandez and King have just knocked each other out of the contention here, and that is definitely going to give Jim Shorts the points lead and a pole position start in his first ever A-main race. And a four-way tie for second place on points. Unreal. For the feature here, I'm going to bring the right rear in 1/2 inch, just to try and combat the inside line slickening off a touch. So as we get this final on the way, we want to run a tight, consistent line, really try and take advantage of that clear track in front. The high grip part of the track is getting wider and wider. So as the night goes on here, you can see King getting more difficult to contain as he can start trying to get a run around the outside. The slight change in colour there on the low line, it shows that the track is just starting to lose grip down low, so that's helping King out as well. We've passed a third of the way through the race now, and King's trying to change his tactics a little bit here. He's going to try and ruffle me up on the inside. Now he's going to try and sling around the outside. I'm going to have to use him up a little bit here. Just try and hold him at bay. Past 2/3 of the way, coming up on some lap cars here, so this could go for or against us. It can be just a matter of luck sometimes. Hopefully we can get a couple of lap cars between us and the pack. Oh geez, that was a bit of a moment. Managed to try and gather it up here, but King didn't do too well out of that. He was very much the unlucky bystander. Jim Short's bringing it home here and comes around the final turn, and with that he finds himself in the winner's circle. First time out. What an absolute superstar. And that is all run and dusted. And have a look at that, he's got himself a checkered flag, showing that off proudly. What a legend. Now we can jump in the replay, have a look here, and find a small glitch. Apparently Jim doesn't want to let go of that flag, not after a big win like that. And I'm sure we can all sit back and appreciate Jim soaking up the pressure here from King early on. So that's all very cool. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go and get paid. So we'll grab the cash here and head back to the main menu. Then if we jump back into our career, we can check out the trophy room, and we can see here we've got our first trophy, which is very exciting. And as with all races, I'm sure Jim will be hoping it's the first of many, given the very optimistic size of his trophy room. So that has taken us through the basics of the game. Now, if you want to buy your way to the top, and there are plenty who give it a go in the real world, there's of course a shop over here that we can have a look in. So there is an option to buy some credits, but there is also an option to buy a developer pack, which will unlock all your races, all of your upgrades, remove all ads, and will even give you a discount on the PC version of the game that will make its way to Steam. A couple of little things that I haven't covered here. You can Bluetooth an Xbox or a PlayStation controller to your phone and play that way. And currently there are 6 tracks ready to race, so I'll show a little bit of video of each of them from the cockpit view. So there's 4 more on the way, and of course we're looking for more teams to come on board, so hopefully there'll be more recognisable names for you to race against before too long.